Hello and welcome to New Filmmakers Los Angeles in partnership with Movie Maker magazine. We're here at the Cameras Los Angeles showroom in West Hollywood, and I'm here with Josh Garvin with his movie, Stygian. Let's take a look at a clip. Josh, it's amazing to have you in the studio.
Thank you.
And
Glad to be here.
congratulations on your film.
Thank you.
Tell us a brief synopsis of your film.
Sure. So Stygian is a short western, and it's the story of a bitter old gunslinger who made a terrible mistake in his past years before, and sort of now at the end of his journey, it's come back to bite him in the ass.
It really did.
Yeah.
We won't give too much away, but
Yeah.
it was such a joy to see a western, and then to put a western in a short version. I was like, how on earth did you do that? That was absolutely incredible. But,
Yeah.
Where did your inspiration come for the idea to make this film?
Sure. Well, so Stygian was my grad thesis film. Most of I was based out of Chicago, Columbia College, and most of my cohort, they were all doing stuff in Chicago, which is a great town, plenty of material to use there. But my dad, who's a bit older, he raised me on John Ford movies, and so I wanted to make this film, a tribute to him. So from the beginning, I said, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to do a western. I'm not going to do it in Chicago, but I'm going to do a western. And so, yeah, just sort of the from start to finish, it was just sort of a come hell or high water, I'm going to make this movie sort of situation.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I love the fact that you're inspired to make a western after watching many growing up as well. I mean, westerns were such a huge genre that we don't see so much these days. What did you have to do as a filmmaker to kind of capture the sort of like the western feel?
Right. Well, I think one of the reasons why it's maybe not in the genre anymore is that obviously many of the first westerns were racist because Native Americans were the bad guys.
Yeah.
And as our sort of understanding of history evolved, you realize maybe this is not a great idea.
Right.
But also, there was always the white hat, black hat, good guy, bad guy, and it felt good to have that sort of black and white dynamic. But my favorite westerns, this John Ford, The Searchers, and Unforgiven, that it was a much grittier feel because it was a much more morally ambiguous time and a morally ambiguous place. And, and good and bad in all of us, but also just, that it was such a desolate place. There weren't necessarily a lot of resources that you kind of had to sort of feed the darker wolf in order to just survive. And so, the most important thing was finding the right location, because my favorite thing about westerns is that the location is always the main character.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so
you certainly found that.
Yeah, well, we had originally planned on shooting it in Utah, but then I did a scout at the Salt Flats, and there weren't a lot of resources. It was very hard to get to, and so we decided to change it to New Mexico. And our original primary location for the majority of the main character's journey was supposed to be White Sands, and we'd secured everything, and it was great. But on the day, about 2 hours before we were going to do our company move to White Sands, we got a call from the Parks Department and learned that an Air Force test Predator drone had crashed into it, and they had to close it down for the entire shoot. So
independent filmmaking, hey? Oh my goodness, absolutely. Wow.
The Air Force.
The Air Force. Well, so it's amazing that you recovered from that and continue to make the film, which is incredible.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Josh, it's great when you've traveled and you've done this and you've you're a filmmaker living in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
What one piece of advice would you give to someone who is, wanting to do what you're doing right now?
Sure. Well, the best piece of advice that I got is that, if you want to be a filmmaker and you want to direct things, then the best thing you can do is to direct stuff, to just shoot everything you can, whatever you can. And, as you get older, it's a little bit more difficult. It's easier to say that to somebody who's, in a film school or in school and has access to equipment and has the time to do that. And when you're an adult, you have to pay your bills and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's important to really sort of prioritize it. If that's what you want to do, then you have to make it happen, because otherwise, 10 years will go by and nothing will have gotten done. So
those years go by, don't they? It's crazy.
yeah, and making a movie is just sort of the thing that I learned the most making Stygian, is that it's sort of an act of will, and that you're, the mythological hero pushing the boulder up a hill, and if you don't do it, it'll never happen.
Well, I think that's fantastic. It certainly inspired me to go off and make my moves now. No, Josh, thank you very much, and thank you for sharing your film. And we're very excited.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Well, no, of course, and we're very excited to see much more of your journey here and your work as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you.